Call this meeting, the Carthage City Council to order on Tuesday, May 27, 2025. Chief Martin, if you please provide the invocation.
Yes, Your Honor. Heavenly Father, we gather here tonight. We thank you for our health and our ability to be here. We ask your blessing, Father, and comfort on those who may be suffering or in need. We would also ask tonight, Father, you examine our hearts and fill us with your wisdom so that our efforts will bring glory to you and you alone. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Chief Hawkins.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just 1 second.
Okay, it's gonna work. Still doing that. Flashing button.
All right, Miranda, if you'll please call roll.
Peterson,
Present.
Gilpin,
Present.
West,
Here.
Lease,
Here.
Perkins, Thorne, Barlow,
Here.
Snow,
Here.
Schramm,
Here, I made it.
and Wells.
Here.
All right, thank you. I think you've all had a chance to read the minutes from the last council meeting. I would entertain a motion to have those approved.
So motioned.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
You should also have seen the minutes from the special closed session council meeting on May 13th. And you should have had a chance to review those minutes as well, and I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next thing on the agenda is presentation and proclamations. We have none for this evening. So we will move on to public comments. Any member of the audience who would like to speak, you're welcome to do so. Please stand up, state your name and either your address or the organization you're representing, and you've got 5 minutes.
Thank you. My name is Jackie Booyer. I live at 1184 South Main Street here in the city of Carthage, and I'm the president of the Kellogg Lake Board. And I'm here to invite you as members of the city council, the employees of the city of Carthage, and the members of the community to attend June 7th, Kids Fishing Day. It is open for fishing from any child 15 and under, and it runs from 8 o'clock in the morning to noon. Afternoon, it is open for fishing everywhere. And we will also have educational stations there. The kids can go through the stations, get a stamp. If they have a certain number of them, then they will be eligible for a gift or a prize as long as they last. Also, we are serving hot dogs as usual with chips and cookies. We have water to drink. We've discovered that cans of drinks don't last very well because they get set down on the ground and you never know when a bee is going to be in it, been there. And we are very happy that we are able to do this for the community, and we hope we have a good turnout. We have had support from many companies in the city and individuals. And we have been able to add additional fish along with the Department of Conservation. So it should be good fishing, not just catfish this year, but hybrid bluegill. So if you're a fisherman, you know what that is. We hope to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Anyone else wish to address the council?
My name is Renee Minshew. I live at 1105 Jersey Street in Carthage. I'm here on behalf of the Carthage Humane Society. I just want to update you on a couple of things that we have coming up in the near future. Saturday, June 14th is going to be our Stray Getty fundraiser. That will be from 5 to 9 at the First Christian Church Lighthouse. We will have spaghetti dinner and also a silent auction. Lots of really nice things have been donated by our businesses and individuals in the community. So we hope you will all come out. Tickets are $12. That includes spaghetti, bread, salad, and dessert, and a drink. So it's really a good price. Another thing that we have coming up within, I don't have a set date on it yet, but it will be within the next 3 weeks. Right now, parvo is running rampant pretty much everywhere, but the city of Carthage is being really affected by it. If you've talked to your local vets, you will know that. Parvo is caused by the canine parvovirus. This virus is highly contagious and spreads through direct contact with an infected dog or by indirect contact with a contaminated object. It's classified as a disease of the stomach and small intestines, as this is where the virus does the most damage. The virus prefers to infect the small intestine where it destroys cells, impairs absorption, and disrupts the gut barrier. Parvo in puppies also affects the bone marrow and lymphatic tissues, and in some cases can also affect the heart. It is also often fatal in puppies. It's a very ugly, serious disease. If a dog walks across a yard and that dog has parvo, it will shed the parvovirus and it will live in the ground for 7 years. So it's almost impossible to get rid of. That's why it's very, very important that all dogs, especially puppies, are vaccinated against the parvovirus. That's the DAPPV injection. And we will be doing a low-cost vaccine clinic to cover the parvovirus within the next 3 weeks. We're waiting for our supply of vaccine to arrive so that we know that we're ready and equipped to do that. So we want to do this for the city of Carthage. We want to do this for the pet owners of Carthage. We want to do this for our shelter. We want to do this for our local vets. Something's got to be done to get this under control. So this is what the shelter can do to help at this point. I would like to end with a couple of quotes. Don't accept your dog's admiration as conclusive evidence that you are wonderful. That's from Ann Landers. And also, dogs have a way of finding the people who need them and filling an emptiness we didn't ever know we had. And that's Tom Jones. So I hope everyone will come out and join us for our fundraiser. Thank you.
Will there be a cost for the park shot out there?
I'm sorry?
Will there be a cost?
Yes, it'll be $15.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Jonathan Roberts. I live at 6226 County Road 120 in Carthage. And thank you for giving me a chance to speak to everyone today. I asked Tracy if she could pass out a piece of paper before I came up and spoke. If you guys wanted to use that as reference as I run through a couple of items. The first side that I'm going to talk about is the one that's got the budget. The top left says revenue on top. So I'm the CEO of the Fair Acres Family Y, and I'm here today to talk to you about one of the topics up for vote tonight. And that is raising the gate fees for municipal pool and rental prices for municipal and central pools this summer. I am truly sorry for bringing this to you, as the outdoors pool is hopefully opening tomorrow. It was supposed to open on Saturday, but the weather didn't allow that. But I wouldn't be asking that for this request at 0 hour if it wasn't warranted and needed. There have been a lot of changes since the Y signed a 3-year operations contract in 2023. And at the time, we were coming off the biggest summer ever in 2022 and expected that momentum to continue in 2023. Unfortunately, after the YMCA had signed the contract, the baby pool was shut down after some work on the pool had happened. The baby pool is the only body of water that was less than 4 feet deep at the municipal facility. This lowered our visits by 2,200 guests in 2023 to 2040 in 2024. And I highlighted that on your chart in green. Then Prop A, which if anybody runs a business, you might remember Prop A and now Prop B and all the other props, passed and minimum wage went up 12.8% since 2023, from $12 an hour to $13.75 an hour this year. That has impacted payroll significantly. In order to operate the pool, we need 9 staff, a manager, someone to do admissions, someone to run concessions, 4 lifeguards on deck, and 2 lifeguards that are resting to go back on deck in between their shifts. This impact is highlighted in orange on the chart. Chlorine prices have increased 24%. This impact is highlighted in purple. Lastly, the bottom line in the YMCA is projected to lose money if we do not find more revenue, and that's highlighted in the dark blue on the chart. If you flip over to your other side, you will see 14 outdoor facilities that are located within 60 miles of Carthage, and their admission pricing for this season. While some of these pools are bigger than Carthage, like Schiff and Republic, many are smaller than Carthage, like Lockwood and Pierce City. The average price for the 14 pools for a child is $4.54. The average price for an adult is $5.11. Carthage is $3. This is why I'm asking for an increase of $1 a person to go from $3 to $4, and a rental increase that currently is $200 for a 2-hour rental at municipal pool, up to $250, and it's currently $75. Should know my numbers, shouldn't I? And the central pool is currently at $75, and we're asking to raise it to $100 for a rental. Central pool is still free to all guests. It's for ages 10 and under, but it is only open during the week. And due to the fact that we haven't had the guests, we don't get the concessions, we don't get the parents' gate fees anymore, even though the kids got in for free. So this is why I'm asking for that increase and to help keep the YMCA out of the red this year while offering the community a great service at a cheap price. Additionally, we've been asked to have the central pool open for additional hours for Food Truck Fridays, which comes at a cost. And we also offer 4th of July an extra 4 hours, which comes at a cost, but that's part of the contract and we're happy to do that. But we'd love to do other events in Carthage without fees or cost if we were able to put this cost onto the parents and the families that are visiting the pool. So thank you for your time, and I hope you support that.
Anyone else wish to address the council? All right, we'll now move on to reports from standing committees, Budget, Ways and Means. Alan?
Yes, sir. Budget Ways and Means Committee met on May 14th at 5:30 here in council chambers, and we heard the Carthage Water and Electric budget proposal for the 2025-2026 budget year. And we will be reviewing and forwarding all of the budget at our next meeting, which will be June 4th at 5 p.m. here in council chambers. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Committee on Insurance Audit and Claims, Lori?
Thank you. The insurance audits and claims met this evening earlier to discuss claims. The largest expenditure was one for around $56,000. I had it highlighted to Zanovan, but that was all out of capital expense, and it was a lot of miscellaneous projects around town. That was our largest expense, I believe, on that report tonight. Wasn't as many as we've had previously. Employment records Policy was discussed, and we will be forwarding that on to be made into a council bill. And then we also discussed several job descriptions and some revisions to the organizational structure for the fire department. The job descriptions were the taxi driver, deputy fire chief, fire training chief, battalion chief, and those were all in our packet this evening. So I'll start with the taxi driver. I would entertain a motion to approve the job description for the taxi driver.
So moved.
Any discussions?
I'll second that.
Oh, sorry. Any discussions?
Could you explain what the difference is on that?
Yes, on the taxi driver, what was different was basically it was really old, and it said they had to have a CDL license to be able to do the taxi. They do not. They have to have a Class E, thank you, a Class E license. And then also on their hours, used to they only worked 20 hours per week, so it was like a 40-hour work week. Now they can work up to 18, or it was 20 hours per pay period, 2-week period. Now they can work 18 hours a week, which, so they upped the hours on that. That was the only two things that changed in the taxi driver.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay, Laura, I appreciate you taking over for me. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Sorry.
Aye. All opposed? Passes. You've got more, Laura?
I do.
All right.
And there was a revision of the organizational structure for the fire department. And what that consists of is adding the battalion chief positions back in. That was eliminated around 2009. It was phased out. Michael has ran the numbers, and by putting the battalion chiefs back in, it divides the duties up of the upper people and some of the staff that is not salary. So the overall savings is around $37,000. Is what he figured, but in the long term, it may end up being much more than that. But it'll eliminate a lot of overtime by the ones helping supervise, and they have to go back and they're paid hourly instead of salary.
So I have a motion to accept this.
Yes.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Any comment or any other discussion? Yeah, Alan?
Yeah, so we discussed this also in Public Safety Committee, and the battalion chief, adding the battalion chief level of the command structure gives us more flexibility. Currently, when there's a call, other than medical calls, either Chief Martin, Deputy Chief, or Fire Marshal Maples, or Training Chief Calhoun has to report to those fires because they have to have a command staff member at the scene. And so by adding that battalion chief, that elevates that to a command level. And so we're not adding additional people, we're just changing some of the structure. We're not eliminating any people. Actually, we're combining the deputy chief and the fire marshal position together. So it's actually the way it was, like Lori said, back in the early 2000s, and we're just going back to that structure, so.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comment? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. All right, Laura, I think you've got a couple more.
I do. The deputy fire chief job description, it was also in the packet. Some of the job duties have changed, dividing up some of the job duties between the chief and the deputy fire chief, and with the battalion commanders, it's going to distribute the job tasks better, and then the deputy fire chief will, and I'm probably leaving something out. Am I leaving something out of that one? It was just a few adjustments to what had already been there. Okay, and other than that, it was pretty much the same. And that's all.
Okay.
Entertain a motion.
Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right, all in favor of realigning, if you will, the fire chief responsibilities, or the deputy fire chief, battalion chief responsibilities, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right,
And the next one's the fire training chief. And that was, I think they were, what was the name prior? Officer. They were put in as fire training officer, but they are on the board of chiefs for the state. So this just changes the title. Everything else in the job descriptions stayed the same. So we're asking that be changed.
okay.
I move that we approve the job description of the fire training chief.
Second.
All right, a motion is second to approve the reworked, actually just renamed duty description. All in favor? Or, I'm sorry, any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you. Lori?
And the last one's for the job description for battalion chief. They just took the old description they had prior, updated the things into language for now, and it was pretty much the same as the 2009. That's all.
Okay, I entertain a motion for the newly or regenerated battalion chief duty description.
I make the motion.
Second.
I have a motion, a second, to approve the new battalion chief designation. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay,
And our next meeting will be June 9th at 5:30 here in council chambers.
okay, thank you. Public Safety Committee, Alan?
Yes, the Public Safety Committee met in council chambers here at 5:30 on May 22nd. We had a pretty full agenda, and the first item that we had was road closures for the 4th of July Red, White, and Boom. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion that we close Richard Webster Drive at Oak to the dog park and Robert Ellis Young Drive at the fairgrounds to the golf course from 12:30 p.m. to 9 p.m.
So motioned.
I made the motion, if you would second it.
Oh,
Kat.
second.
Or Lori.
Sorry.
All right, have a motion, a second, to close Richard Webster Drive and Robert Ellis Drive as described by Alan. Any discussion?
So this will be basically the east side of the park over by Kittyland, through the park, past the skating rink, and then to the dog park. That's gonna be a lot of activity in that area. And then the other is from the fairgrounds to the golf course is where they close it off so people can't drive up there while they're setting up the fireworks.
Any other discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Next thing we had on the agenda was a color run. Cassie Nichols from St. Luke's came in and talked to us about the St. Luke's color run. It's going to be held on June 21st, and it was requesting some road closures also. So I would like to at this time make a motion that we close Catherine at Fairview, Catherine at Cary, Pearl at Catherine, Pear at Catherine and Pearl from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on June 21st.
Second.
I have a motion and second to close Catherine, Pearl, and Pear as described. Any discussion?
Essentially, they're just closing around St. Luke's so they can run around St. Luke's.
That's correct. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Next, we heard from Sally Stewart with Vision Carthage, and she was talking about the dumpster day that they're getting ready to have. That will be June 8th from 3 to 7 p.m. In the parking lot behind Memorial Hall. They're going to have dumpsters there that you can bring anything that you need to discard from your yard or from your house. They're also going to have Innovative Industries there to shred documents. If you have any documents that you would like to have shredded, Innovative's a certified document shredder, and so they'll maintain if you need letter that says it was securely shredded. You can get that from them also. No actions needed because that is in the parking lot behind Memorial Hall on June the 8th from 3 to 7 p.m. And that is on Sunday. So just so that everyone will note that. Then during staff reports, we did hear about the fire department changing command structure and the job descriptions and everything, and I'm glad that everyone was able to support that tonight. The police department, we also heard about the job description for the taxi drivers. And then we also have on the agenda, we heard about the Blue Shield program. And that is a program by the governor that will designate our police department as a Blue Shield department, which will make available some grants and other things for the department. And so on the agenda tonight, we have Resolution 2089 that is basically a resolution affirming the city's support for public safety. So that was all that we had on our agenda. Our next meeting is going to be June 20th, I think. I forgot to write it down.
23rd.
June 23rd, 5:30 here in council chambers.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you.
Oh, sorry, it's the 16th.
June 16th is what I meant to say.
You can come both times. All right,
Alan
public,
remembered they can take tires too.
Oh, yes, I forgot about, Sally said that during the dumpster day, Jackson Tire would be there. So if you have a tire that you need to discard, I believe there's a fee, a $2 fee or something.
Something like that.
Pretty minimal to get rid of a tire because you can't just put it in the dumpster. So I forgot about that. Thank you, Kat.
You're welcome.
all right. Public Service Committee, Janet?
I want to apologize for just skimming in late. This morning I was in Seattle, landed in Kansas City at 3 o'clock, and I made it here just in the nick of time, so.
You did good.
Let's see, I wanted to go over some things that, we had quite a few items. The first one I have is Tyler Markham had presented a fee for the golf carts, an adjustment in that. And that you will find on Council Bill 2537. He had brought to us some pricing and we had a discussion of it. And when we get to that council bill, I'd like to go over the new pricing that he would like, so it will be read in the bill. So should I wait till then to go over that? Okay. But it's a nominal fee. What we did was go with all the surrounding areas, like 25 miles of public courses, what they charge for 9 holes and 18 holes, and we were far below everyone, and we have a superior course. So it was a needed adjustment in the pricing. The next one on here is, it will be on Resolution 2088 to consider that was the damaged, I'm sorry, the inside hitting range, is that on the,
It's under resolution, Janet.
Okay, yes. It's going to be Resolution 2088. We're going to surplus that. We had Abby bring in some pictures of it. It had been damaged by the storm. No one really uses it. So it's a good idea to get the eyesore out of the way to surplus that. So we will be voting on that in that resolution. The next thing we had, the red, white, and boom. Abby talked about that. How many participants were in it last year? We just need a motion to move forward with Red, White, and Boom 5K, right? Okay. So I'd like to make a motion to accept the Red, White, and Boom 5K on July the 4th. Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to support the Red, White, and Boom 5K on 4th of July. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
Our next action was on the Kraken Swim Team. They host an annual event every year, and they bring food trucks in lieu of traditional concession stands. And they give a donation of the proceeds back to the team. This is on July 12th, and what we need is I would like to make a motion to accept the food trucks in the park for the Kraken Swim Team swim meet on July the 12th.
Second.
I have a motion and second to allow the food truck to support the Kraken swim team in Municipal Park. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
The next thing we have is the discussion for the pool fees, the gate fees to get in, which Jonathan spoke about. He put together an entire packet for us saying what the lifeguards were paid, what the chemicals cost, what concessions were, the year-to-year cost of the maintenance of the pool and staffing it. The main things that went up, as he said, was the labor to $15 an hour and chemicals for the pool. And at this time, I would make a motion to, oh, I'm sorry, Scott, you don't need a motion right now. Thank you, Alan. It's Council Bill 2536, and we'll hear about that later. The fountain in the park, we were accepting an RFP by one site, or site one, totaling $23,424.70. It's within the budget of $25,000. And at this time, I'd like to have a motion to accept this RFP to move forward with the fountain at Kellogg Lake.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the fountain, the RFP for the fountain at Kellogg Lake. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
Abby, when did we say we think that the fountain could be working again? Just an estimate.
It's gonna take a little bit of time. We have to build a rack, an electrical rack still, so it takes, I think, 5 to 10 days to order the fountain, and then, well, have an electrician look at it.
Okay, so like by the end of the summer, or, I mean, it will be this year?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely this year, by
Okay.
midsummer, I hope.
Thank you.
Is it still gonna have a light in it?
I'm sorry?
Does it still have a light in it that shines?
It will have a new lighting system in it, will be an LED light system, and it will display all sorts of colors at the push of a button.
Good.
Okay, moving on. The next is, we considered the RFP for the tables and chairs at Memorial Hall. The original budget was $50,000 for this, I believe, and our estimate, our bid came in at $27,794.98. We are keeping this local. It's going to come from Carthage Hardware. And should I do that at this time? Since we came in under budget, I'd like to have that $22,000 reallocated from the purchase of the tables and chairs to be used on the purchase of the curtains for the stage at Memorial Hall. So at this time, I'd like a motion to accept the purchase of the tables and chairs and the reallocation of the $22,000 savings on that to the curtains.
So motioned. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to essentially redirect the savings from the chair purchase into curtains. Any discussion?
They want to accept the bid for the table and chairs and reallocate the savings to the curtains.
So two different motions? Okay.
Okay.
Should we separate them? Okay.
Yeah. A motion to accept the bid for the tables and chairs.
So moved.
Second. All right, we have a motion and a second to accept the bid for the tables and chairs from Memorial Hall. Any discussion?
I just wanted to reiterate, it also includes the hanging apparatus to hold the tables and the chairs as well, included in that price.
So it's a storage rack?
Yes, couple different ones.
And I wanted to also add that it was even better than originally planned, and the chairs hold bigger, larger capacity. And they still had the warranties and everything, but it ended up being better equipment for a lesser price.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to move the $22,000 over or under budget money to, it would be in the curtain in Council Bill 2538 that we'll be approving. So we will make a motion to move, I'm asking for a motion to move that $22,000 to the curtain budget.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to redirect the 22,000 from the chair to the curtains. Any discussion? Alan?
Well, I'm just a little concerned about doing this way because this isn't our budget process. When we budget for an item and we come in under budget, we come in under budget, and that money goes back into the pool and we budget for it again. To just say, well, we had 50,000 budgeted, but we're only spending 27. Let's take that other 22 and move it to something else. There may be something else that's more important if we went through the budget process. So I'll be voting against this.
Any other discussion?
The funding for the curtains, the rest of the funding, where's that from?
It's use tax.
General?
What is it? Use tax?
It's use tax.
We're still using?
It was use tax in Parks and Rec, right?
Yeah, so we do have some money budgeted to replace a curtain in the budget, and that is part of what Jana was explaining. This is some additional curtain stuff that the people that are putting up or came in to look at the curtain that we're buying needed to be done. So that's my concern.
Can we explain the curtains for just a minute why we put the motion to accept the curtain purchase in here was because we did have the money because we came in under budget for the tables and chairs, and they were a better quality, and we're buying local. We wouldn't have put in the curtains as it stands right now without having that extra $22,000, so it stayed underneath the budget of the entire use tax that we had budgeted for those
She's
two
just making a
items.
motion to reallocate those funds.
Just to reallocate it, it's already been there. So, if that changes anybody's mind. So, did we have a second for the motion?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, we have
we
no.
just need to vote.
All right, we have a motion and a second to reallocate money original or savings from the chair purchase to, I guess, supplement or complement already budgeted money for the curtain purchase. Is that correct?
Yes, and we had extensive talks about the curtain purchase, thinking that, was it needed at the time, and it's very expensive to replace. How many times do they actually close the curtains? The back curtain is shredded. It needs to be replaced. It can't even go up and down, and it's as beautiful as Memorial Hall is right now. It's an eyesore at the back. So we thought at the same time, the company bid the front curtains and to put more of a secure racking system above it, right, Abby? So, because it was really not safe at that point. So that's why we went ahead with putting the curtain,
Okay, the motion on the table remains to reallocate $22,000
Yes,
saving from a chair purchase to complement money that had been set aside for drapes or curtains that now requires an additional to address issues that Alan's, is that correct? All right.
Your Honor,
Yes.
are we setting a precedence here that could be followed up later by other savings? I mean,
Well, when we go through the budgeting process, we try to budget realistic, something that's, what we expect it to be. And I mean, we're saving nearly half. So so we need to, I guess, look at when we do the budget, do we have solid numbers or not? And like I said, in the past, if we were to budget, $150,000 for a sidewalk, and that sidewalk project comes in at $120,000, we don't take that $30,000 and say, let's go build another sidewalk. We come back and we reevaluate what are the needs at that time. Yes.
Yes, Tracy.
We actually recently did this for the fire department mower.
okay.
Janet, does this mean that we're replacing that shredded back curtain
The back and the front and the.
at the same time?
The
We were
poles up
first
above.
just going to replace the front one, right?
The back one,
back
because
one.
it does not work any longer.
So now we're replacing the front one too.
Yes,
Okay.
And that includes essentially hardware.
yes,
Which suspends it.
yes.
I was just gonna say, we're not replacing the front curtain. We're just lifting the front curtain. The front
Right, oh,
curtain
that's
has
right.
fallen. They're called pickup points, and so those are no longer in compliance with the codes that we need to safely have them. So they're dragging across the floor, and they need to be redone, the pickup points at the top, to lift them properly. So that's what's happening with the front curtains, and then the back curtain is what we're actually replacing.
If this fails and the extra is not reallocated, how will that affect the purchase of those?
She won't be able to purchase them.
Right, and we could take that back to Budget and Ways and see if they'll reallocate it properly to the purchase of the curtains, and then go back and table the curtain purchase and the repair until the next meeting. So if we want to do it properly like that, as Alan said, if that's the way to do it, we could do that. So,
I like that thought as well, after hearing Alan's comments.
yes.
I would agree with that.
So do we want to fail this vote then, or go ahead and vote on this, or make a motion to to table this?
I think we can table this one.
The
Made a motion and a
22,000.
Second, she would have to withdraw her motion.
Okay.
Was there a second?
Yes.
Yeah, she had to.
Well, we can make a motion to table. I'll make a motion that we table this until the June 14th meeting,
Okay. I have a
or June 10th
motion to
meeting,
table
I'm sorry.
till the next meeting.
And you want it to go back to the budget committee?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion to say a second to table it. So all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank
So I
you.
don't need to withdraw.
No.
Okay. So then on the, consider the RFP for Memorial Hall curtains, I'd like to make a motion to table that until our next meeting also, after the Budget and Ways meeting meets. So that should come in line before the meeting, right? Will that be before the next meeting or the
Are you
council
want to table
meeting?
the council bill, or?
Council bill, yes, because we don't have the money right now for the curtains as we,
Okay. So, I mean, you can table it to the next meeting.
okay. But it has to be after the next Budget and Ways meeting.
So budget meets next Wednesday,
Yeah.
and then
Okay.
council's June 10th.
Okay, good, that would work. I'd like to make a motion to table Council Bill 2538 until the next council meeting.
Second.
All right, we got a motion to second to table Council Bill 2538 until the next city council session. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it is tabled.
Thank you, Alan, for
All
keeping us
opposed?
straight on
I
that.
guess I should have asked, but all right.
Okay, consider and discuss music in the park. Brady Beckham came to talk about the summer music programs, and it's a series of 3 different summer concerts. He had 3 different genres that he told us about that they've looked at, and they all sound wonderful. And I just am looking for a motion to accept the Council on the Arts music in the park this summer.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the offer of the city council and the music in the park. Is that the proper term?
The
Brady.
music in the park by Council on the Arts.
Yeah, music in the park by the Council on the Arts. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you.
And then we went on to staff reports, which I'll let Abby, when she speaks, to talk about those. But Tyler Markham came and gave us a rundown of what's going on at the golf course this year, how many rounds of golf have been played, the tournaments lined up, the PGA Junior League season. And it was just very interesting to hear everything that was going on at the golf course this year. For staff reports, Abby will tell us about a little bit more about Red, White, and Boom, the Lime Scooters, Griggs Restrooms, the aquatic center, pickleball league, and Mahjong classes, which I asked her to look into, and they're gonna do some lessons there. So that's all I have right now. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Public Works. Derek?
I think I gave our update last week, or at our last meeting. Am I incorrect on that?
Did you say
You're between meetings.
Oh, sorry, yes, duh. Okay, I was like, wait, what am I missing? Yeah, the Public Works Committee is currently between meetings. Our next meeting's next Tuesday, June 3rd, 5:30, council chambers.
All right, thank you. We'll now entertain reports from special committees and board liaisons. Jana?
I have Vision Carthage. Alan went over their dumpster day, which sounds amazing. It's the first time it's been done for a while, so I won't go back over that. We talked about the sculpture update. We're looking for, there's an RFP out now from Parks and Rec to get the planting done in the middle of that roundabout, and that's on Garrison in front of Casey's. They've done their planting days. They kept having rain for it, but they completed that. Their big event they're working on is the evening soiree in the park on June 28th. They're going to need some volunteers for that. It's a wonderful event that it's the first time for. They will have a three-piece quartet. Yeah, they'll have a quartet. And wine and cheese, charcuterie boards, and they will be giving away the awards for Carthage in Bloom that night. So it should be a wonderful event. They have another planting day planned for October 11th. They're moving forward on the entrances and finding bids for the south entrance by fire station number 2. They completed the mural and had a ribbon cutting on the 22nd that's on the Lasley building that I saw quite a few people had attended that. And they will eventually need volunteers to help paint the Oak Street Bridge when the improvements are done on that. And Kate is following along with her Restoration Carthage, classes, and they're held at the Steadley Learning Center, and she says that the attendance in those is wonderful. People are very excited to go to those. So that's it.
Anyone else?
Yes, Your Honor. At the commissioners meeting this morning, we had a discussion, and they wanted to make sure we reminded all the senior citizens the end of this month is the last day that you can lock your taxes in for next year. And I even got mine today. The assessments are totally different from your tax levy that you pay, and those will come out and show that your increased tax assessment has went up by about anywhere from, I think it was 13 to 15% was, Your Honor. And that's all, Your Honor.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, we'll now move on to the report of the mayor. That would be moi. Okay, a couple things. I've been able to attend a couple more chamber coffees, which is a great opportunity. They do them at different place every week. Quite honestly, coffee doesn't get any better, but the venue changes, so that's pretty interesting. So those have been good. The last couple at Oak Point and the OMB Bank, Old Missouri Bank down on the south side of town. I did attend my first CEDC meeting. That went well. You'll see tonight the packet that we are, in fact, realigning with them or essentially moving ahead with the recontract at no change in terms of cost to the city. I was able to go to the Cross Lines open house. If you haven't been down there yet, they've been doing a lot of good stuff down there near Public Works. They've got some big expansion plans down there, and some of you have probably seen they're pursuing funding for continued expansion and to improve their services down there. But they're doing a great job now. And the tour itself was very interesting. If you haven't been down there, I commend it to you. And it both runs the gamut from not only food, but also clothing and household items, to be honest with you. I did attend the mural ribbon cutting in the building on Lion Street, the Flanagan Lasley Moore building. Cheryl Church did a great job rehabbing that. And in doing so, evidently, she had to overcome some degree of vertigo, but it looks great. And as Jana mentioned, they're looking around town for some of these old ghost signs that have fallen in disrepair, and they are quite interesting, and they attract tourism, which is a good thing. So if you haven't had a chance to see that yet, I commend that you do so. I was able to attend the Memorial Day ceremony this year again, and of course I normally go. Good news this year is they didn't ask me to speak, so we actually had a decent speaker. Once again, I was somewhat saddened, quite honestly, as you look around Memorial Hall. Now, they did have to move it inside because of the inclement weather yesterday, but they moved it into Memorial Hall, and the Heartland Band, who does a great job, but usually normally, they far outnumber the people that are there paying respect to those that we lost in the past. So I commend it to you all. We did get it on the city website this year, and we will continue to do so, at least while I'm wielding the gavel. If you did not see the news last week, but between the Carthage Community Foundation and the Colpin Foundation, they gave out almost $775,000 worth of grants to nonprofits throughout the community, and it's just a tremendous. And if you know any of the people that are on that board or some on the Colpin board, thanks. I mean, they really do a tremendous service to us. We're really blessed with not only those, but the others. The names of which are familiar to you. We've got the Steadleys, we've got the Boylans, we've got the Hospital Foundation Trust, rather. So all of those are an incredible opportunity that we have within Carthage to use that and roll that investment back into our community. I do have a meeting this week with the Humane Society. That's the 29th. And Kate, I'm assuming you're still going to join me, so I'll give you an update on that at the next meeting. And additionally, we do have, for those of you that haven't seen the housing study, which was recently published through the CEDC, that talks about the housing needs of the community, some old information, but some new information as well. They are doing a breakfast, and they're briefing a lot of those that information this week. I think is it Thursday or Friday? Tracy, you remember? Is it Thursday? Thursday. And it's 8 a.m. out at the CWEP. So if you're interested in the housing situation, what we've got going on, I commend that to you as something a place you might want to go and get some coffee. So completes my my report for tonight. So now we'll move on to reports from council members, and we'll start, Lori, with you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just wanted to say, Habitat for Humanity will be building the 200th for this area, for the Joplin, Jasper County area, 200th Habitat home. It will be in Carthage. So there'll be a big celebration with all of that, and more to come on that later. And that's all I have tonight, Your Honor.
Okay, Ray?
Nothing, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, Tom?
Nothing, sir.
Alan?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Jana?
The Carthage Chamber of Commerce end of year celebration, their banquet will be on the 5th, June 5th. So I just wanted to remind everybody that they're celebrating the theme for the Maple Leaf Parade. It's also the same as the Chamber banquet theme of the imagination, along with Willy Wonka theme, so.
Janet, is that gonna be dress up like it usually was?
For you, it is.
I do have a couple of dresses. Have you not seen that silver lame I wore to the last one?
Anything else, Janet?
That's it.
Ron?
Yes, Your Honor. I want to thank Josiah there at the corner down there on Maple Street. They got them culverts in. And with this rain, that has been draining very well, and those guys did an excellent job down there. Second, reference a message you sent out. I've done some walking around my community there, and I had talked with CWEP about all those trucks and big red container and everything that they had sitting on that lot. People on Main Street was getting a little tired of looking at it. That is all cleared out already. They need to get in there and finish getting it smoothed out so they can mow it again, but they were very pleased.
Good.
That, we got that accomplished, and of course the work that they were doing was finished also. And the neighbors appreciated it.
Okay.
Thank you for the info on getting out there and actually talking to our people in our community, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Derek?
Thank you, Your Honor. Sorry about my brain lapse there earlier. I think the long weekend threw
Probably
me
that
off.
Gatorade you're drinking.
Yeah. I just wanted to echo Ms. Booyer. Kids Fishing Days on June 7th between the Rotary Club of Carthage, the Kellogg Lake Advisory Board, and the Department of Conservation. There's so much going on, so much to do for the young kids and even the adults hanging out, and it's a blast. And I just encourage everyone to find at least a little time to go out there. Thank you.
All right. Kate?
Well, I look forward to going to the Humane Society with you. And that's about all I can think of right this. I am going to do what you said and figure out a business to go and visit and to knock on doors and visit some of the constituents, because I actually live in a building with constituents. So that's all.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to administrative reports. Chief Hawkins.
Nothing tonight.
All right. And the fire department, we've already given you new organization and battalion chiefs, and what else you need, Jason?
We're busy for the next month and a half, because we're gonna try and have this implemented by 1st of July with the new budget, which will require us to do some promotion testing and evaluations and put people in the right place. But, we got 4 guys going this week to Columbia for summer fire school. That's we can't send everybody, but we send a few, and they come back and they have new ideas, and they get to network with other fire departments, get ideas while they're there, and that's a very inexpensive way for us to benefit the whole department. That's all.
Okay. Josiah?
Yeah, just a couple things. Some of the weather has affected some of our normal operations. The mosquito fogging was scheduled for last week. We got 2 days in because of all the rain, so you will see the fogger back out this week. I promise we are going to try to get rid of some of these mosquitoes. But anyway, as far as some of the projects ongoing, road widening, the rain is slightly affecting some of that. Somehow the sidewalk project, they have been able to work through and just dodge it. So we've been going really well up here on the square. And then I also met with Sally as far as the dumpster days. We're helping coordinate all the dumpster schedules. We're going to meet again tomorrow, actually Thursday, and go over a little bit more on some of the organization of the moving people in and out, kind of the layout of the parking lot up there. So I'm going to help her assist with that, and that's all I have.
Okay. Abby?
Thank you. A couple of things. Vandalism is down in the parks, and so we'll be moving the bathroom closing time back to 10 p.m. for all of the bathrooms except for Griggs, which will close at 11. I think several people have mentioned Kids Fishing Day, but also later that evening of June the 7th is the rodeo at the Saddle Club Arena. So there's lots happening in the parks coming up in the next couple of weeks. For Red, White, and Boom, we do have planned a golf tournament. There's the free swim for the community, free Kittyland rides. We have food trucks and music and all kinds of things happening that day on July 4th at Municipal. There will be free Mahjong classes at Memorial Hall beginning June the 13th. It will be 3 Fridays starting June 13th. You all probably have seen the Lime Scooters made an appearance on Friday before the holiday. We did chat with them today, and there really should not be a scooter left in the same position for longer than 48 hours. So if you do have an issue after the 48 hours, if you'll contact the Parks Department, then we will let them know. We'll reach out to Lime, and they are GPSed, so they'll come and pick them up and reposition them throughout the parks and the rest of the town. And then we also have a pickleball league starting in July. And I believe, lastly, we met with, or Water's Edge attended our last pool aquatic steering committee. And so we're just waiting to hear back from them on some costs for the concept plans and how to move forward with our timeline. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Tracy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Since I have been out of town, I have nothing to report.
All right. John?
Nothing tonight.
Okay, then we will now entertain a report on claims presented against the city. Miranda?
The Committee on Claims filed a report in the amount of $2,863,167.60.
I move that we approve the May 27th claims report as presented.
Second. I have a motion and a second to approve the claims report. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, fine. We'll now move on to old business. First one, Council Bill there.
Okay, are the tablets fired up?
We're ready.
The second reading of Council Bill 2525, an ordinance of the City of Carthage, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement between the City of Carthage, Missouri and Cellco Partnership, DBA Verizon Wireless, for a temporary COW/COLT, really need to figure out how to say that, cell tower for Marion Days 2025, held in Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion?
Josiah, I did have one question, not super relevant per se to anything, but what's the timeline look like? Is that a 1 day up and down, or?
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Yeah,
It's a couple
okay.
days and it's in place, and then once the event's over, a couple days are out of there.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Any other discussion? Cast your votes. Council Bill 2025 passes.
The second reading of Council Bill 2526, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Elements Construction Concepts Incorporated of Joplin, Missouri for the replacement of the West Macon and Center Street box culverts in the amount of $308,915 in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion?
I would just reiterate, as we discussed this on first reading, these two culverts are $164,000 and $144,000 respectively, which gives us that $308 total. And the West Macon and Center Street that we're voting on now, as well as the East Chestnut culvert that will come up shortly, are all budgeted in to tie into future drainage projects that are planned with other irrigation paths. So just wanted to note that before we vote.
Any other discussion? Cast your votes. Council Bill 2526 passes.
The second reading of Council Bill 2527, an ordinance of the City of Carthage, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Elite Site Work of Kissy Mills, Missouri for the HH and Chapel Road Sidewalk Project in the amount of $289,559 in the City of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion?
Able to get with the district?
Yes. Yeah, we met last week. They're going to disperse that throughout the district to let everybody else know. Meeting went really well. Very excited about it.
They didn't ask for any changes, or they're good with it?
Any other discussion?
And here I would also just briefly mention again, this is an 80-20 cost share with the federal government. And fortunately, we have the 20 there, so.
All right, any other discussion? Cast your vote. Council Bill 2527 passes.
The second reading of Council Bill 2528, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with JKS Construction Incorporated for a box culvert replacement on East Chestnut Street in the amount of $165,474 in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion? All right, seeing none, cast your vote. Council bill passes.
The second reading of Council Bill 2529, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an amended contract with Vision Carthage for specified services in the city of Carthage until June 30th, 2026 in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion? Cast your vote. Council Bill 2529 passes.
The second reading of Council Bill 2530, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Boots Court Foundation / Carthage Visitor Center for $36,000 annually beginning July 1st, 2025 for tourism and marketing services in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Alan?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to table this Council Bill 2530 until the June 10th meeting.
Is there a reason?
Yes, me.
Okay.
There's some language that
Needs to be cleaned
in
up.
the contract that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that, if we're redistributing any of the responsibilities of this, I'd like for this to go back to either Public Services and Budget and Ways, or one or the other, to see if that's the money that we've allocated to that.
Well, we're not changing any, the monetary change, there's no monetary change.
But if you're changing, we would like to look over the responsibilities again.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So I have a motion second to table this until the next council meeting.
So,
Any,
And a motion and a second motion to take the changes back to Public Services and to Budget and Ways.
Can we just take it to Budget, Ways and Means? That's where it came out of, because that way we can get it at the next council meeting.
Okay.
okay, so just table to the next meeting.
okay? All in favor?
I need a second.
We have a
Second.
second.
Okay.
For Janice.
Yeah. So we're tabling this to the next session, and it will go back to the public,
Budget
budget.
and Ways.
Yep. All right, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, it's all opposed? Okay, it is tabled. Next.
The second reading of Council Bill 2531, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a contract between the city of Carthage and the Carthage Over 60 Center for services in the amount not to exceed $23,000.
Any discussion? Okay, cast your vote. Council Bill 2531 passes.
The second reading of Council Bill 2532, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding between the city of Carthage and the Carthage Economic Development Corporation and to agree upon general terms and commit to the financial terms of the agreement.
Any discussion? Cast your vote. Council Bill 2532 passes.
The The second reading of Council Bill 2533, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Guarantee Bank for banking services.
Any discussion? Cast your vote. Council bill passes.
The second reading of Council Bill 2534, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Union Pacific Railroad Company for the plan review of the McGregor Street Bridge in the amount of $25,000 in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion? Alan?
I would just like to once again make the point that I believe this is completely uncalled for, but because the railroad is the railroad, we've had the plan reviewed by the M&A engineers, and now we have to pay to have it done by the Union Pacific, but the railroad is the railroad. So I just want to go on record to say that I believe this is unnecessary, but it has to be done in order to get that bridge replaced.
All right. Any other discussion? Cast your vote.
Finally got it.
Council bill passes.
And the second reading of Council Bill 2535, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to sign an amended and restated City of Carthage, Missouri Police and Fire Pension Plan, City of Carthage document. Such amendment and restatement of the plan is as recommended by the Police and Fire Pension Plan Committee.
Any discussion? All right, cast your vote. Council bill passes. We'll now move on to new business.
The first reading of Council Bill 2536, an emergency ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an amended contract with the Fair Acres Family Y Incorporated to increase the fees for the pool in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion?
Are we moving that to a second reading?
Someone has to.
Alan?
Yeah.
Yes, I would like to make a motion to forward Council Bill 2536 to second reading.
Okay.
I'd second that because of the timing of this.
Yeah, I have a motion and a second to move this to second reading. Any discussion? All right. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, second reading.
The second reading of Council Bill 2536, an emergency ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an amended contract with the Fair Acres Family Y Incorporated to increase the fees for the pool in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion? Tracy?
I just want to note that I did look back, and the last time these fees were increased was 2017.
Any other discussion? Cast your vote. Council Bill 2536 is approved, passes. All right, Brandon.
The first reading of Council Bill 2537, an ordinance changing the golf cart rental fees at the Carthage Municipal Golf Course.
Any discussion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to include those fees in the council bill, which it would be changing the 9-hole course to $16, up from 13. I'm sorry, that's the 16-hole. The 9-hole from $8 to $10. And then that would change the membership fees to single membership with cart to $1,825, senior membership with cart to $1,675, and household membership with cart to $2,525. And I can give you these, Miranda, to include in that.
Did they change from what
Yes.
was in the packet?
Yes.
You don't have to look at it.
It was, yes.
Right, okay. I was wondering what we were
It's in
doing.
the minutes, but this is what we had, yes, it's in the
So I
minutes.
just need to swap out what I had in the packet.
Yes, well, it wasn't in the council bill,
She wants the fees listed.
listed in the council bill.
Oh, okay, list, okay. I get you.
And again, we looked over all of the courses in the area, and we're still the very lowest. And with such a wonderful course, it really needs this increase, so.
Okay.
Do we have a second?
Any other discussion?
Well, yeah, not to get ahead here. Well, I'm glad you raised that, Jana, because I had 8 to 10 and 13 to 15 on the 9 and 18 hole. So that is not
No,
accurate then.
right.
Okay. Well, knowing that, so it's slightly higher.
16 instead of 15.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, then that actually makes my point a little more relevant. Today and this weekend, first and foremost, I am squarely aligned with this change. I believe it's necessary, fair, and adequate. The only thing is I went back to see when the green fee or the cart rental fees were changed last. And I saw that in 2017, the demand-based pricing model was implemented. And I wasn't sure if I'd missed anything, Ms. Almendinger, in the meantime, but it set a floor of $20 on 18-hole rounds and a ceiling of 40. So by my numbers, 41, the wrong numbers. In other words, I don't mean to be difficult, but that would be in violation of that 2017.
So what you're talking about is the fee to golf and the cart fee together.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Because that would bring it to 41, and that 2017 ordinance capped, it was flexible discretion in setting those, so there had to be a floor and a ceiling. You couldn't just go crazy. And I saw that today, that 41, so I guess it would either have to go.
It'll actually be 42.
And yes, now accurately 42. I guess it would, I guess I'm curious, would it have to go back to Public Services to amend that original ordinance? Or, I wasn't sure the outcome, again, not to provide difficulty here, but rather to maybe protect ourselves potentially from being in contradiction, but, or maybe it's not.
Alan?
So, this is first reading tonight, so we could look into those things and amend this council bill at the next meeting, or we could table it until the next Public Services Committee meeting, go back and we can correct the demand pricing structure and all those things in one council bill. We don't have to do multiple council bills. So we could revise this council bill and do it all in one. But I would recommend that we table it until the next Public Services Committee meeting and then bring it back up. So I would make a motion that we table it until the July, I don't know what time, what date our July, first meeting in July is. Well, we won't have a Public Services Committee meeting until after the second meeting in June.
It'll be before the second reading, before the second meeting in June.
Oh, okay, so I would make a motion that we table this council bill until the June 24th meeting.
So we can add in
So that we can make
all the
amendments.
pricing, and they wanted this July 1st. So at that time,
That, it would still take
well,
effect
it would
July
take
1st.
2 readings at that time?
That will be the second reading.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I second that we table it until after the Public Services meeting, and we'll have it at the next,
So Jana, do you want to rescind your original motion?
oh, goodness. I will rescind my original motion for the new pricing.
And then we have a motion and a second to table until after the next Public Service meeting and in advance of the next council meeting for second reading.
Until the June 24th council meeting.
Any discussion?
Derek, don't mess this up any further.
I'm done.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
And then we tabled Council Bill 2538 already, so we are ready for resolution.
Okay. Now, I have no mayor's appointments this time, just so everyone knows I am still working it. We'll move on to resolutions, so.
Resolution 2088, a resolution approving the declaration as surplus to the city's needs and authorizing the disposition of the indoor hitting bay.
Any discussion? Alan?
I would make a motion that we adopt resolution 2088.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 2088. Any other discussion? All right, cast your vote. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2089, a resolution affirming the city of Carthage's dedication to public safety and its commitment to reducing violent crime within its jurisdiction.
Any discussion? Alan?
I would make a motion that we adopt resolution 2089.
Second.
I have a motion, a second to adopt resolution 2089. Any other discussion? Alan?
So as I said earlier during my Public Safety Committee report, the Blue Shield program has a list of, you have to do these certain things in order to be approved as a Blue Shield department. Chief showed us kind of what they had, all the things that they had accomplished or completed already. This is just showing that the city's, I guess, renewed commitment that the council is committed to supporting public safety. Chief, anything else that you'd like to add to that?
No, I think you summed it up pretty good. You know, they want to know things like what have we invested, like for instance, upgraded equipment, it could be personnel, but also community involvement and all the things that we do there.
Yes.
Any other discussion? Cast your votes. Resolution 2089 passes. We'll move on to closing comments. Lori, start with you.
Nothing, Your Honor.
Ray?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Nothing, thanks, sir.
Alan?
Well, Your Honor, at the last meeting, I thanked Chief Martin for the beautiful weather that we'd been having. So, as I've said in the past, Chief, you can make the rain stop anytime. It's summertime, we're ready for 75, 80 degree weather, not rainy and 60 every day. So, see what you can get done on the emergency management side of the weather. And that's all I have tonight, Your Honor.
Janet?
That's because we didn't put the stipend in the budget for meteorologists. That's our own doing. Nothing tonight, thank you.
Ron?
Nothing.
Derek?
I've caused enough chaos, I think, nothing further.
All right. Kate?
Nothing except is this one I make a motion? I make a motion to go into closed session according to section 610.021. Number one, the agenda includes the possibility of a vote to close part of the meeting to discuss legal actions, causes of action, or litigation involving a public governmental body or its representatives and its attorneys.
Second.
I have a motion, a second to move into closed session. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Cast your vote.
Oh.
We have to vote on that one?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. We'll have to have you vote then.
Alan, just,
Recorded vote is necessary.
Okay, we will retire here in closed session. Back to order in regular session.
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Okay.